morning, everybody. This is E from Silverhairedgaming, back with another episode of Farmer's Market, and this is kind of a weird episode because I lost some footage, and even though I still have the audio, I have to kind of redo some things I did to get you up to where you'll see what you'll see now. First thing we're gonna do though is that we're gonna make a cup of coffee because I don't know, I'm feeling kind of tired. I'm feeling kind of tired this morning. And I need a cup of Joe to wake me up. So we're gonna go there. And I'm just basically gonna review with you. There we go. Cup of coffee. Good stuff. So what we're starting on is Botania, and you can see I've done a bunch of work here, but I'm gonna show you how I got there. The first thing we're gonna look at that you need for Botania is you need flower collection, and they will spawn everywhere all over the world. They're not biome specific, and let's look at this one. See how it says mystical pink and it has like that little ethereal effect that's kind of feathering off of it? Well, that's what you're looking for. There's going to be in this mod pack in particular, you're going to find lots and lots of flowers like this one, a allium, which is really just a Minecraft default flower. And, well, here's a black mystical flower. So we want that one. Smash it. We want this one. Smash it. Now this one is going to be a mature one, bluebells. We don't want that one, not mystical. Not mystical. And you'll also see in the Wayla on the top there, it says that's for Natura, that's for Minecraft, and these are from Botania. So anything that's a Botania plant, and they represent one of each of all 16 colors in the Minecraft world. So, yeah, you want to collect as many of these as possible. I've already done this, of course. Wow, does this lead to anything? No, it sure doesn't. Okay. I'm sure I hadn't been missing something amazing all this time. So let's head back to my Botania house and see how I got where I am with all this cool stuff. And the first place you want to go, and the first thing you want to do, is make this book right here, which is called the Lexica Botania. And to make this, you just need a book and any sapling. It doesn't matter. You see it's cycling through every possible sapling from forestry to Natura to vanilla Minecraft, anything. So it does not matter. You can just combine any sapling with a book and you get a Lexica Botania. And when we open this... Oh, let's go back to the beginning. Spoilers. You'll see here there's basics. And this runs you through bare bottom. How to make Botania, mystical flowers, what I just showed you. How to find them, what they are, and they power everything in Botania. Now, the first thing you're going to want to build the second thing you're going to want to build after the book is a petal apothecary. And what this does is allows you to create things. And what it is that here's the recipe. Just cobblestone, slab, and then any of the color petals. And the way you get the petals is like by this. Let's take one of our, doesn't really matter which one of the ones I just collected, like the black one. And you put it in there, and it gives you 2 petals for every flower that you change into it. And I'm just going to convert all these to petals. There's no reason not to, because the only other transformation you can make with these petals, and we'll get into this in a second, is to turn them into dust, which you'll need a mortar and pestle for. And I don't know if you can use the other mortar and pestles in the game, like from Pam's Harvestcraft, for instance, but I just make this one because I know it'll work. So boop, 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 put all our petals. You see, I've been collecting lots of petals. I've actually already used a bunch of petals to make the flowers you see outside, but we'll get to that in a second. So where's my mortar and pestle I have up here? So there's the mortar and pestles. So let's look at this recipe. It's really simple. Any plank, any stick, and 1 bowl. Boom, mortar and pestle. That's easy. You can find it. And what you do with this is that you take any petal and you mash it into powder. And what you can do is that this can then function as dye for any of the 16 standard colors of Minecraft. So that's helpful. If you don't have the dye to mix and match, you can just use these petals to do it if you have an excess of petals. So that's helpful. And there is there's a few recipes that require pestle and mortar. And the first one is, where is the manipulation? No, there's one that'll allow you to make. It's probably under basics here somewhere. But anyways, we'll go on to the next step. The next thing you want to make after a petal apothecary, you can see these are listed in order of importance. This mob is well written, and well made to the point where really it's kind of self-explanatory. But you read through this book, I'm just gonna blast through things I've already done that I've lost, which is irritating. But the next flower you're gonna want to make is a pure daisy, and you make that because it turns standard logs and stone. It has to be stone, not cobblestone. Converts it into what's called living wood and living rock. And you make it by adding 4 mystical white petals into a petal apothecary. And the way the petal apothecary works is that, and hopefully we'll be making a plant in the next episode that I can show you, is you put the required petals into the petal apothecary with some water, and then you splash a vanilla seed in there, and poof, it makes the flower for you. So it's pretty neat. That's why I have this infinite water source, because each time you make a new flower, you have to fill it with water. So yeah, I've gone through this, and what I've done is, whoopsie, I've made the first kind of flower, which is a day bloom. And let's look on the NEI here to show you. The day bloom was just 1 orange, 1 blue, and 2 yellow, and poof, it makes an orange bloom. What an orange bloom does, excuse me, not an orange bloom, but a day bloom. What a day bloom does is that it generates mana. And mana is like the power of a tech mod. It just constantly generates mana during the daylight. If it's nighttime, though, it doesn't do anything. And the reason I know this is because I have a Wand of the Forest. And a Wand of the Forest is, we'll show you this recipe too, living wood twigs, which is why you need the living wood so badly. And I'll show you my living wood setup with 2, and it can be any colored petals you want, makes the Wand of the Forest. And Wand of the Forest is your wand, basically, in what other mods it allows. It also acts like a wrench does in a tech mod. So you see I have a pure daisy here and a pure daisy there, and I have put down logs and stone, and it has given me living wood over time. So let's see, maybe I've got enough. Oopsie, where's my this and this? So let's go ahead and take this down. Maybe I'll show you how this works, since I haven't been. Well, I did show you once before, but I lost the footage. Silly. And luckily, this living rock does not change to like living cobblestone. It makes you smelt it all over again. That would be really annoying, but it does not do that, thankfully. So we'll get some of these, and we'll get some. Oh, I don't have a whole lot of stone. I have 1 stone, so it'll still work. So let's just put 1 stone and 1 block down and wait. Put that stuff back. And you'll see there's like little particle effects that are flying around the wood and the stone from the flower, and that's it doing its thing. It's infusing the stone and the wood with some sort of flower magic that turns it into living rock and living wood. And yeah, it's fantastic. And it does have a cool little animation. And what you can do is that you can surround it on all sides, so you can have 8 pieces of wood and 8 pieces of stone all the way around these flowers, and it will convert all of them around it, but nothing beyond that point. So that's why I just put 1 around there, and I didn't have any more stone to give it. So da-da-da. Where's my sleeping bag? Here's my sleeping bag. We're gonna sleep really quick. Hopefully it won't change while we're sleeping, so we can see it. There we go. Ta-da! Seems like it's taking forever. I swear it doesn't take this long normally. I just want to show you because I like this effect. And then we'll move on with my wand. I don't need this stuff in here anymore. Oh, just changed the living room. Oh, I just changed the living room. So that's what you're looking for. That's how you do it. It's really simple. And everything else you make from here on out will be made from either the petals or a living rock or a living wood. So, okay, so this setup I have here, I'm going to explain. The first thing that you can make are these day blooms. So it tells you this in the book. This is the pattern. If you put them right next to each other, you get diminishing returns on how much mana it produces, so you have to kind of spread them out So there's always one block between them, you know, at least a diagonal. So this is called a mana spreader, and a mana spreader is just 6 living wood with 1 petal and some gold. And let's see, I can show you the recipe here. So mana spreader. There you go. It doesn't matter what color petal, any petal, you know, of any color will do to make a mana spreader. And what a mana spreader does is that all the mana that's being produced from these day blooms is getting pushed into this mana spreader. And when it has enough, it's pushing it into a pulse into this mana pool. And this mana pool is, guess they're not, is made of living rock. And you see here, you have to start with what's called a diluted mana pool. And you get a diluted mana pool, which is simply this. And you go ahead and make 2 of these off the bat. And once you have the diluted mana pool and it's full with enough mana, you can then dump another diluted mana pool in there, and it will become a regular mana pool. It sounds strange, but I kind of already did this, and it's hard to show you again. But so this is a regular mana pool. It's generating. You see these particle effects coming from these mana spreaders, and that's the mana being shot from the spreaders into this mana pool. And the next flower I made is called a hydrangeas. And that's great. My sword's not out. Hello, sir. Thank you. And what this does is that this drinks water, basically. And it has to be in this 3x3 pattern. And these flowers, I don't know if you can hear the sound effect or not, but they're slurping this water, literally. What they sound like. So they're slurping water up, and as a result, they're generating mana. And the mana that they're generating is being sent to this mana spreader right here, and that's what's shooting it into this mana pool. And then the next flower I made was called an endoflame, and all these recipes are in the Let's Go Botania. You will find them under the section of generating flora. These are all flowers that generate mana in some respect. So I made a daybloom, endoflame, and hydrangea because they're pretty much the simplest ones you can make. There's a lava version of hydrangea, but I'm sticking to these 3 for right now in the hopes of making other ones. Now, since I end up sleeping through the night, I didn't make these, but a nightshade is the nighttime version of the daybloom. So they'll only generate mana during at nighttime. So you could, and this is a smart thing to do if you don't really sleep through the night a lot, is to, where there's gaps between these dayblooms, put nightshades. So day and night, this thing is always going to be producing mana and shooting it into the pool. So that's a smart thing to do. Now these endoflames, the way they work, and it looks like they're done processing what they had, so let's get some more. They will burn anything that will ignite. So I didn't really want to put that in there. Let's move this over here. So what you do is that coal, wood, anything that can burn, these will work. So you plop it nearby, and you'll see, whoop, it takes it. And put it in that one for some reason. But let's go ahead and fill each one of these up. And you just drop the object near it. There you go. And you see how they have this flaming effect now? So they're burning that coal. And now you can see it's just boom, 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 sending pulse after pulse. So as it's constantly burning that coal, it's just going to continually send a stream of mana into the mana pool. So it's working overdrive right now. And it'll go as long as there is stuff to burn. So as long as a block of coal would burn in a furnace, they're going to burn this flower to generate mana. So it does a pretty good job of making quick bursts. Now these do, once they're finished burning that coal, they have to quote unquote cool off, and you'll see an effect where rather than being kind of orange like flame, it'll be like cool. You know, it's cooling off, so these blue effects will come off. And once it's done doing that and it goes back to its static nature, then you can add something more for it to burn. And then you'll see I have a runic altar here. And the reason we're at a runic altar is because we want to go to the next step of Botania. And that is going to require me to make a runes, which is why I need a runic altar. And let's go back to functional flora. And these are all flowers that do stuff. Hopper Hawk, you see that there? It's literally acts like a hopper, where if you send items to it, it'll suck it up and put it into an adjacent inventory. And the Daffodil, it works like a fan. Any objects on the ground that are near it, it will push it and blow it to a certain location. What's the Bellthorn? By utilizing mana, it also inflicts harm in any living being except for the player. So you can use Bellthorns as, to kill mobs, basically. You do have to set it up with a supply of mana, however, in order for it to work. The one I do want to make that I'm working on now is called the Jaded Amaranthus, and the reason I want this is because feeding it with mana from mana pools will give it will quickly grow new mystical flowers around it in any spot it can. So it's basically a way of making new flowers instantly. When I plop it down over here, it'll just make new flowers all around it. So I don't have to go constantly searching. The only other way to get more flowers without having to seek them out in the world is to make, and we'll go find this recipe. I really wish I remember where it was. Let's see. It was called flower fertilizer. No, it's not in there. Well, there's a recipe in here somewhere for it. I'd swear there is. Let's look at the index. Bubbles, function, generation, mana. Cosmetic bubbles. Huh. Well, I know there's a way to make it. Is it under... it's not under Runic Altar. Maybe it's under Mystical Flowers. Yeah, here it is. Floral fertilizer. Alright, it's bone meal and 4 white powder florals. And you can just use that. You slap it down on the ground like normal fertilizer, and it will generate a couple of mystical white, or not just mystical white flowers, but any mystical flower for you to use. So, let's go to the one I want to make, which is the Jaded Amaranthus. And this is where things get kind of complicated, because now we're going to be doing redstone roots and runes, which is why I made the Runic Altar. So this is easy. It's a redstone root, or it's redstone and grass, which, do I even have redstone in here? I don't, so I'll need to remember to bring some redstone down here with me next time. But the rune of spring, because I can't spit that out, requires a rune of fire and a rune of water, and wheat and saplings, which is easy. I got all that stuff up at the farm. So let's look at rune of water, which is mana steel, bone meal, sugarcane, and a fishing rod. So let's bone meal. Now mana steel is simple. This is just putting regular iron into a mana pool, and it makes it into mana steel. So I need 1, 2, 3 mana steel. Am I going to need any for this rune of fire either? Let's see. I am. So we need to make 6 mana steel, gunpowder, nether brick, and nether wart. And this I'm going to have to go back to the nether to get. So between the next few episodes, I'm going to get this. And after this, you'll see an episode of how I made some of the things I already made. This is just going to be my general recap of where I've been and how I got here. So things are going to probably be a little bit out of order, and I may repeat myself. But the next newest episode will definitely be me getting nether wart and making a Jaded Amaranthus. So alas, guys. Oops, get out of that. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I'm sorry I've had to do this twice, even though you guys will only see the latter half of how I did this. And I hope it's helpful. But it was a quick and fast breakdown of how I got to where I am with Botania. And we'll continue with this to show you just how cool this is. You see those endo flames are still burning that coal. They're still making a whole lot of, and there we go. Just boom, 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 making mana burst after mana burst, filling that thing up, which we'll need to make the mana steel and the other stuff. So I'll get myself together to go to the nether one more. I always say one more time, because I don't want to go there very often. But I do have to go there to get what I need. So, again. And I'll see you guys next time. So thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you next time as the moon comes up. Bye.